institutions, given if it is private or public sectors. Before I begin, I just want to give some little bit of concepts regarding what is innovation, imagination, invention, creativity, and visions. These are different terms, but they might, from time to time, probably people think they are the same. They could be the same, but it depends on how you look at them. Innovation is the introduction of something new or new idea, method, or a device. Imagination is the active power of forming a mental image of something not present to the senses or never before perceived in reality, or creative ability. Invention, discovery, finding, production, imagination. Creativity, the quality of being creative or the ability to create. Vision, a thought, a concept, or object formed by the imagination. And as we go along with the presentation, many of these will be probably clearer. Why do we need innovation? Innovation usually is needed because we need to create value for the organization. And this is really, creation of value is very important in order to either stay competitive if you are in the private sector or give better services if you are in the public sector. So goal of innovation and technology processes is to add value to a business. Need for technology must be recognized to provide a visible and timely creation of value for the firm. This is in high-tech of organizations. Competitive environment require proof of potential value before a firm invests in innovation and technology. Value addition of technology must be based on a sound analysis and forecast. So we need to create value. We must prove that there is a value in the innovation that we like to propose. What's the difference between the different terms? If you look at like scientific discovery, example is the atom. An invention is the machine to split the atom. Innovation in this case is splitting the atom. And technology is the nuclear power. So you can see the link between those different terms. What is innovation and how we can use the innovation to really create technology. Before we innovate, why we want to innovate? Right? We need to have a strategy. Having a strategy is really important if we want an innovation to work, because without a strategy, we will not know where to innovate actually. And strategic planning is important, and it is an important process that our organization, public or private, will have to go through in order to really look at the short-term, medium-term, and the long-term planning for the organization. Strategic management is an ongoing process in which organizations define the nature of a businesses in which it will be active, the kind of economic and human organization it intends to be, and the nature of the contribution it intends to make to its various constituents. So strategic management is important, and it tells you how you want to really reshape your organization based on the innovation that you want to undertake. Looking at the external factors and also the internal factors. Given the different external factors that really put a lot of pressure on organization, and many times they create a lot of changes in the organization. And some of these internal factors could be politics, laws and policy that can change. And looking at the suppliers could be that change in suppliers is an external factor. And societal groups, pressure groups, NGOs, they can be a factor that can really influence strategies, and this strategy will force a different kind of innovation inside the organization. And one other important external source is a lot of technology are developed and by our competitive competitors, and this will also force innovation in the organization in order to stay competitive and survive in a very dynamic markets. And given the changes that we need to have based on external factors, we need to also analyze our internal factors and internal capabilities of the organization in order to see what type of strategy do we need in order to really adapt to these external factors. Capabilities, type of capabilities is how the firm approaches technology. If it is a high-tech industry, do we look at destroy, eliminate, or replacing technology, preserve, maintain technology, continuous improvement, and develop leaping others with new technological capabilities? Destroy, that means do we need to change our technology that we are using because new technology came out that will really hurt us, and that means our technology will become obsolete. Then we have to think of that. Preserve, that means what type of innovation do we want to at least improve our current technology. Continuous innovation or continuous or probably change, leapfrog into new type of technological capabilities. So these are the things that we have to look at our capabilities and that we have inside the organization to see how we're gonna really adapt to the new changes that are happening around us. Market capabilities indirectly impact the technology of the firm's engineer may develop new technical capabilities, but if there is no way to distribute or sell the product, then competitive advantage is not likely to appear. In this case, if you don't have market capabilities, probably you want to joint venture with others, build our capabilities. Are we able to build these capabilities? These are things that we need to think of when we develop our strategies. Do we need to innovate in our market capabilities? Is something that we need to really develop? Can we develop internally, or we need to look at external capabilities? Now let's talk about technology in general. And you know the shape of a technology, the S-curve. Everybody really know the shape of an S-curve. And this is where most things really happen. And in technology development, it does take an S-curve. And if you look at the bottom left, this is when you invent the technology. And then you can see the physical limit from the bottom. And then when it reaches the high profit, this is where you have the growth of the technology. And this is the part where innovation happens. From this part until it reaches really the maturity level, this is innovation happens in this quadrant. And after that, you reach the physical limit of the technology, and innovating at this level in the technology is really a waste of resources, because you have reached the limits and you cannot get that much from that technology. But where you can innovate at this point, you can innovate at the processes, improve your market, your distribution, probably innovate, increase innovation in the technology, make it more efficient, more cost effective. This is where innovation can play after it reaches its physical limitations. Same thing, you have the technology S-curve, you also have the product market life cycle phase. You might have a technology that reaches the limit, but still it did not reach the market limits. So you might have technology that is mature, but still it did not really mature from a market perspective. And so this is why you always need to look at the different curves of the technology and also the market curve, and you need to really see where you are and what type of innovation you want to introduce in order to really make the best of what you have in current technology before you look at different substitutes. This is an example of the solar cells, and you can look at the efficiency of these solar cells, and if you can see that most of them, you can see the S-curves of the different solar cell technologies, and you can see that they have reached their physical limits in terms of efficiency. You can push a lot for efficiency in this case, but it's going to be minimal. So investing in efficiency in the current solar technology that we have, it's really inefficient in terms of resources that you're going to put, but the best way is to look at other means in order to really push for market in this case. And you can see, if you look at the solar PV, you can see the market still, the S-curve is going up. It has not reached its limit. That means that there is a market, but the market is not really happening very fast. So what type of innovation we can do in this case in order to really increase the capacity of solar PV in the market? So these are things that countries, they have to think about it, what type of incentive they can do, what type of innovative policy probably. And also companies, they have to think how to really stay competitive and what type of innovation they can do inside their organization by probably introducing many other things in order to stay competitive. Example, different complementary asset that can help really capture the value of their technology that they are using. And this is for the PV. Now we can look at the renewable energy industry overall, and you can see the S-curve of the renewable energy. It has reached its limitation, but this is including all the different renewable energy technology that exist. So you can look at the different S-curve for the technology, for the market, and for the industry, and they can tell you a lot of things, and they can drive really innovation in both the public sector in terms of policies and in terms of financing these technologies, and also at the private sector, how to survive in terms of building complementary assets in order to really stay competitive. And looking at, I don't know why the graph is not showing here, but Porter looked at the different forces also in terms of what are the weaknesses for these forces and how can you adapt as an organization in order to build if you have gaps, and how to stay competitive in this case. Now, looking at general global trend in business transformation, innovation, today many things are really driving innovation in both public and private sector. Design thinking, this is, everybody's going into design thinking in their product development and market design and so on. So creating a new mindset and understanding customers' need and frustration. So implementing design thinking is an innovation in organization, and a lot of people are using it in order to get close more to the customer and create really groups of stakeholders, internal and external, regarding the customers in order to really understand the customer's need and frustration, and to design a product that is really needed by the customers. Other factor, digitalization or digital transformation, and the need for a new strategy. So digital transformation is really changing the way we do things, and we're going to go more on each of these. Industry 4.0 and the technology that is created by Industry 4.0 is really changing things around us, and we will talk more. AI, artificial intelligence, knowledge management and organizational learning. So AI is also changing innovation inside the organization. All of these will help in staying competitive, giving the customers a better service, and so on. Now the last one, which is COVID-19. I guess we all felt the effect of COVID-19, and it's really changing the map of human activities. And COVID-19 is really forcing innovation to all organizations, public and private. And it changed our lives in so many things. We'll talk more about it. So all of the above strategy must be aligned with the company's vision and mission. So we have to look at the vision and mission of the organization, what are the strategies, and use all of these in order to, as a tool for innovation, in order to really stay competitive or give better services. So looking at design thinking. Design thinking is a set of principles and approaches popularized by IDEO and Hasso-Platter Institute of Design. The approach focuses on gaining customer insight and using it in a highly iterative process of rapid prototyping and testing to generate solutions for customers. An example of a problem: how can a frustrated customer use public transportation during the COVID-19 pandemic and not worry about infection? Same for going to school, university, work, etc. So this will create innovation in all type of sectors and organization, designing organization. Today, many companies are closing their offices and choosing to keep their employees home and working from home. So this is really innovation to really stay competitive and stay safe at the same time during this pandemic. These are the different stages of design thinking. I'm not going to go through them, but this is the regular type of designs that people go through. But you look at the last one, which is learn feedback, and the learn feedback is important, and you can have a feedback to any of these stages in the design thinking. And this is the different stages. I'm not gonna go through them. Now looking at digital transformation. Digital transformation is, everybody is going into digital transformation, but you need to be digitalized, I guess, to go into digital transformation. And we will see later on, everything is linked together: AI, digital transformation, and Industry 4.0. These are all technology that are linked together, and they can work together to support really the effectiveness and efficiency of the organization to stay competitive. So these are tools that you can use to stay competitive. It usually means that using digital tools to better serve the known customers' need. Digital technology is no longer in the cordon of domain of IT. It is being applied to almost every part of a company's value chain. Global trends in Industry 4.0. Graph is not showing. Okay. Industry 4.0, some of the technology that are really impacting Industry 4.0, IoT, blockchain, and different technologies in terms of data mining. So many things are interactive in the Industry 4.0. And this is really important. And looking now at the business transformation of artificial intelligence. Here you can look at the top 10 artificial intelligence trends everyone should be watching for in 2020. This is done by Forbes. AI will increasingly be monitoring and refining business processes. More and more personalization will take place in real time. AI becomes increasingly useful as data become more accurate and available. More devices will run AI-powered technology, human and AI cooperation. AI increases at the edge. AI increasing used to create films, music, and games. So AI will impact every part of our human-machine interaction. So the more you use AI, the better you can help with human-machine interactions. And in many times, these machines with the AI tool can really almost drive our life in some sense, but it will help us improve our lives. COVID-19 is changing the map of human activities. Research and development in medical and pharmaceutical industries. This will create more opportunity for innovation and entrepreneurship, increase demand for online businesses, and this create more business opportunities. Many winners existing and new online businesses, many losers like retailers, many jobs are lost, and human capacity building retraining is needed. New opportunities are created in health sector, education, transportation, energy consumption, tourism and restaurant, food stores, etc. Space design, work and public spaces, all type of transportation, elevators, cars, buses, airplanes, trains, education, school, universities, restaurants, park, health, clinic, hospitals, and many other related human physical interactions. Logistics and supply chain will change in many industries, food, beverages, and others. More reliance on design thinking, digital transformation, AI, and Industry 4.0. These will help really ease some of the pain of COVID-19 in societies. Some of the trends by Forbes: commercial airlines offer cargo flights, grocery stores become dark fulfillment centers, hotels offer day rates, restaurants enter grocery markets, Mattel toys honor essential workers, and so on. So these are different trends that are happening based on the impact of COVID-19. Human skills and technological complexity. And here, when you want to do innovation, human skills are really the big and the most important element inside the organization. So we need to build resources in order to really meet your innovation strategy. Whatever your innovation and whatever strategy you want to develop AI strategies, you want to develop digital transformation, you need to assess your human capacities and capabilities, and you need to build these capabilities in order to stay competitive in the market or to give better service to your public sector. Stages of the value creation process: develop capabilities, investment that create innovation. These may be either internal innovation efforts or through the acquisition of such innovation. This is why you need to assess your internal capabilities. If they are not to the up to the limit that what you want, what you can do is either improve these capabilities, and if it is not possible, then you have to look outside the organization. Recognize and deploy innovation by increasing product activities or the number of new products introduced. Exploit innovations through sale growth. This is where we said that technology reached its limit, then you have saturation, and then if you have also market saturation, you need to innovate to increase your sales in this case. Continue improvement through investment in support capabilities or improvement in efficiency and productivities. And the tools that we talked about can help in this regard regarding AI, design thinking, Industry 4.0, and so on. So building capabilities from the start, you look at entrepreneurial capabilities, which means your internal entrepreneurs inside the organization. You need to really make your internal entrepreneurs be able to really to innovate and to introduce new ideas, new products in order for you to stay competitive. And many big organizations all over the globe failed because they did not allow these internal entrepreneurs to really flourish and develop new product for the organization. And we've seen this through history. And we've seen many big organizations really disappear, or they don't even do what they used to do in the past. I mean, to mention a few, Nokia, BlackBerry, and IBM, these are organizations that were really on the top of their industry, and today they are disappearing little by little. So building capabilities from the start, you look at entrepreneurial resources and the human resources, external network resources, and economic resources. So these are all important, and you need to understand them in order to really implement your strategies and what type of strategies you are implementing, and in order to really look at the needed resources in this case. So in general, this is in brief look at the different potential innovation in organization. And I mean, I'll try to really be brief in most of these, but the important thing is that you need innovation. You look at your capacities and capabilities and how you want to build them based on your strategies. If you don't have, if you haven't already digitalized your organization and you want to build your digital transformation, then you have to assess. And if you have the internal capabilities, the internal entrepreneurs, then this is something that you can do. At the national level, the government can give really the strategies and the guidance for the private sector to drive the innovation, to really help the economy grow. But at the same time, you need the government sector and the institutions of the government to drive innovation in parallel to keep innovation going with the private sector, because you need to complement. They need to complement each other in order to drive innovation. Thank you very much. Now we'll take questions. Okay, one question. Do you think that by any chance COVID-19 have a positive influence on the transformation of the business and on the industry? Well, this is a good question. I think many organizations are rethinking the way they are doing. And really COVID-19 gave a chance to many organizations to rethink how they do business. And it also drove innovation in terms of being more effective and more efficient and really giving the customers the best for their value. I hope this answered that question. The second question, do you believe that the future is mainly digital and AI? Well, I have a lot of thoughts about AI. Digitalization is really the future. And so, because we are all connected, but there are a lot of issues with these connections, that we have government regulation that will safeguard the privacy of people and will safeguard the people from many cyber security problems and so on. But I think AI will help, but AI as a tool, it is a tool to improve efficiency and effectiveness of human-machine interactions. And it will help, and we've seen a lot of successes in AI, smart homes as an example. So it will really play a big role. Instead of you doing all these things, AI tools can help really adjust, for example, temperatures inside the homes, and it really detects if there are people inside the house. If they are not, then it will reduce the energy use in the house. So a lot of use of AI. But will AI take over people and the intelligence of people? I don't think so personally, because at the end, what makes us different than machine? We have hearts and souls, and I don't think machines will have heart and souls, but the technology will help, and it will improve the efficiency, and it will help us in analyzing or putting expertise in the machines that we develop that expertise. We are telling the machines how to think, and we are giving them the expertise, and this way those machines will really react based on our expertise, our knowledge that we really put inside them, and we program them to do so. Can they be on their own? A lot of machine learning, deep learning, a lot of research is being done in this, but I think we still need a long way for machines to really think on their own and learning on their own. But with a lot of research, hopefully we will get there. Any other questions? Okay, no more questions. I would like to thank you very much, and thank you for listening, and I hope this was useful. Thank you very much.